Hello my dear friends, I welcome you all to the Science Activity Corner. My dear friends, today we are going to discuss about an experiment which will demonstrate that how lemon juice keeps slices of apple fresh. So here you can see the beautiful picture of an apple, and this is not only about the apple fruit, but this is also about the pear. We can take any of the fruit and we can experiment with it to see whether this juice, which consists of the citric acid, can keep the slices of apple or pear fresh or not. So we will discuss about the principle behind it. We'll discuss about the materials which are required to do the experiment, the procedure, and finally the observation. So let us start with the principle. Yes, my dear friends, the principle behind this is that almost all plants contain polyphenol oxidase. Now, polyphenol oxidase here is an enzyme. It is a tetramer that contains 4 atoms of copper per molecule, and it is also called as PPO. So all the plants, almost all plants contain polyphenol oxidase, and it is believed that plants use this enzyme as part of their defense mechanism. Now, my dear friends, when a plant is damaged, the browning of the affected area is thought to discourage animals and insects from eating the plant any further. And that is why we can say that this is such an enzyme which creates a browning effect. In fact, browning by polyphenol oxidase is not always an undesirable reaction, but the familiar brown color of tea, coffee, and cocoa is also developed by this enzymatic browning during product processing. So we can say that when a plant is damaged, the browning of the affected area is due to this enzyme, polyphenol oxidase. And what is the harm? What is the disadvantage of this browning effect? It is that it discourages the animals and insects from eating the plant any further. Besides these, it also might help the plant heal because the browning creates an antibacterial effect, preventing the germs from destroying the plant even more. So this is the basic property of polyphenol oxidase, which creates the browning in a plant, and that is why we can also say the advantage of this enzyme is that it creates an antibacterial effect which prevents germs. So what we are going to discuss here is all about the lemon juice, which prevents the fruits from browning. Now here lemon juice helps to keep the apple from browning, away from the browning effect, because it contains some acid called as ascorbic acid, also popularly called as vitamin C, and it has low acidic pH level. Acidic pH level means it has a low pH level. Now low pH level is mostly considered as acidic. It is considered as acidic, and the high pH is considered as alkaline. Right, so remember that lemon juice has a low pH level and it contains ascorbic acid, which helps to keep the apple away from browning effect. So basically, lemon juice which contains ascorbic acid, what it does, it reacts with the oxygen before it reacts with the polyphenol oxidase. So this browning effect does not occur any further. However, once the ascorbic acid gets used up, the oxygen starts reacting with the enzyme, that is PPO, polyphenol oxidase, and browning starts occurring. So lemon juice low pH level also helps to prevent browning effect, and it helps to keep the fruit or the apple fresh. For instance, we are taking here apple, so we can say that lemon juice keeps the apple fresh and helps prevent browning. So this is the principle behind it. Now let us discuss about the materials which are required to do the experiment. Yes, my dear friends, proceeding with the experiment, the next step is the materials required to follow the experiment. Now here we require an apple, a sharp knife, lemon juice and a clock. Now this you can also try it at home. Now let's see that what is the procedure to carry out the experiment. Yes, my dear friends, the first step of the procedure is that cut the apple in half from top to bottom. On one apple half, lightly coat the white part of the apple with lemon juice, because this is what we are carrying out. This is what we have to show, that lemon juice keeps the apple fresh. So coat the white part of the apple with lemon juice and leave the other half uncoated. Now here the uncoated half is the control sample, and it lets us see what normally happens to a cut open apple, right? So my dear friends, after coating the white part of the apple with the lemon juice, we have to observe the color of both the apple halves, and then we have to place them white part up on the counter or on the tabletop and observe the apples again after 30 minutes, because that reaction of the ascorbic acid which is already present in the lemon juice, it will take some time to react with the polyphenol oxidase to create a browning effect. So we need 30 minutes. So we have to observe the apples again after 30 minutes, and we have to then notice the color change or difference in the appearance of the apple. So after 30 minutes, look at the apples again periodically throughout the day, and then we'll observe something. So finally our observation is that when an apple is cut open, an enzyme called polyphenol oxidase is released from the cells of the apple, and it reacts with the oxygen in the air, and that is why it creates such a browning effect. Now here you can see, now this was the part which was coated with the lemon juice, and this was the part which wasn't coated with the lemon juice. So here you can see the difference, that lemon juice prevents the half of this part of apple from the browning effect. It prevents it from the browning effect, while the half one which is not coated with anything, not even with the lemon juice, it is already creating a browning effect. That is because of the polyphenol oxidase. So this reaction causes the apple to turn brown, which is similar to the rust forming on the metal, for instance iron. Right, so this is what we observe after 30 minutes. Now the same thing is appearing in the bananas also. Now here you can see we also took bananas and we coated it with the lemon juice, and nothing happened to these bananas, but this is one such banana which shows the browning effect, and this is also because of the PPO, that is polyphenol oxidase, right? So I think that this is very simple experiment to be carried out at home, and I hope that you enjoyed this learning about this experiment. So we will come with the more experiments in the next science activity corner. Till then, Have a nice time and keep experimenting.